Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Faith. I'm writing an adult literary fiction novel. And today we're going to be talking about the second book I ever wrote. I had another video on this channel about the first book I ever wrote. Let me adjust the lighting. Okay, I hope that's better, but oh well if it's not. So the first book I ever wrote was about, what was it? It was like about growing. It was about something. I had it on the other thing, and this book was the second book I ever wrote, and the name of it is Those Who Fail Us. That wasn't the original name. The first name, and what I'm going to refer to it as, is what is it, what was it, I know the name of this book, Portrait, but no, not Portrait of a Broken Mind. It was, there was a name, because How Long Is a Lifetime? That was the original name of it, and so I'll probably refer to it as that. I don't know why I've changed it to Those Who Fail Us. This draft is 21,218 words, so it's not really a draft, but this was my old zero draft, so yeah. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it, then I'm gonna react to it, and then like at first I think I'm gonna like read it on screen. At least I'll read the first chapter maybe, or just like first paragraph on screen, and then I'll just like turn it off and then start turning it on every time I have a reaction, because I don't want to, like last time I did like a full-on just like big clip and I was just cutting out whole chunks where I was just reading, and I don't want to do that this time around. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Yeah, so a little bit of context into this novel. How Long Is a Lifetime was a book. I'm a little fuzzy on it because I haven't written it in a while, obviously, but it was about a girl, and she has depression, and I think she was just trying to figure out what to do about it, or there was some theme that I'm kind of forgetting, but it was something like that. I remember there was a love interest. I remember who the love interest was. I remember a little bit of the parent relationship, but I don't remember much about it, so I guess I'll figure it out in this video. So yeah, okay, I'll just read the first paragraph in my head, not loud. I don't want to show you guys the first paragraph, like, because this is embarrassing. Like this, I wrote this, I should probably say when I wrote this novel. I wrote this novel when I was like in my sophomore year of high school, because the first one I wrote was freshman summer, or the summer before sophomore year, and then this one was, I was a sophomore and I wrote this at that time. So yeah. Okay. I'm remembering from this first sentence that the character was obsessed with sad things, and I feel like this correlated to like, I feel like there was some string as to okay, I feel like there was some string about or some thread about like her obsession with sad things and just like her mental health. This might have been like a different draft, because I wrote so many drafts of this book before I realized that it just wasn't gonna work. So yeah, wait, no, yeah, I realized that the book wasn't gonna work, not this string. Okay, so she's like obsessed with what's called sad. Oh dang, okay, yeah, I really like this. Okay, okay, so in this first paragraph, all I know, and then I'm gonna shut you guys off and then just like come back again. The main character is reading a book, and it's called How Long Is a Lifetime, and I guess like changing the name or whatever, and like she really likes this book, and How Long Is a Lifetime is like a new good sad book that she's reading. I used to be obsessed with sad books. I think that's a lot where that whole thread also came from, like yeah, like I used to be obsessed with them, and yeah, so she's just obsessed with them and she's getting onto a new one. The writing itself is not bad, I'm not gonna lie. It's, yeah, it just feels YA, which it's a YA novel, which I probably should have said it's a YA contemporary novel, but you know, whatever. So I'll turn you guys off and then read maybe the first chapter and then come back or something like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm updating you guys. Leave after reading the next paragraph. Okay, so basically my description sucked back then. Okay, yeah, I feel like this is the problem. I was really good at internality, or just like what a character is thinking, but like right here, a description of like something, I'm gonna read the line out to you, and then yeah. So first off, okay, so let me start from from the paragraph. Okay, I put the book down on my desk, which is right next to my bed, and go downstairs. Which I'm just like, okay, yeah, your desk is right next to your bed. Like, there's no way of saying, why would I say, like, I put the book down on my desk? Like, you put it on down on my desk. That's basically all I needed to say. And then, which is right next to my bed. And then I go downstairs. Like, I don't know. That just, I've always been bad at what's called description, and this showed me that. So, yeah. Okay, I've read a little bit more. Okay, and okay, I should stop updating you guys so fast, but another piece of description that I read, and I'm just gonna say, okay, I kind of, I did something with this description. Okay, it says, mom leans on the counter with a mug of coffee, steam rising from her cup. I actually like that. It's better than like the other thing where it was just like clunky and whatever. So I'm just like, okay, I actually know how to write description, and there's an instance where I did it well. So yeah. Okay, I completely forgot about the younger brother in the novel. His name was DJ, which, okay, I'd probably change his name, but like I completely forgot about him. Like, he was like the cool younger brother, while the older sister, Winter, I think in this draft her name was Winter. She was just like the, not nerdy, but like isolated older sister. I completely forgot. Yes, and then that whole relationship, oh, that was such a good relationship. I actually really liked that, and it was just like, yeah, actually, I'm excited to get to it, if get to like more of just like that relationship. I guess from my memories of the relationship, because the problem is I'm just so fuzzy with what happened, but like it was something like a glass child-esque thing. It was like a very much like sibling worrying about another sibling because of like their mental health. It was just like very much that, and I really like that dynamic like a lot. So I'm excited to get to that if it is in this, because again, I wrote like millions of drafts of this novel before I quit it, so I don't know which draft. I don't even know, because I wrote 2 drafts of this novel. I don't know if this is the first or the second draft. I couldn't tell you. Actually, I think this is the second draft, maybe. I don't even know where the first one would, actually no, this might be the first one. I think, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I wrote a bunch of drafts of this novel basically, so like I don't know which draft that happens in. So okay, wait a second. Okay, I'm confused. I'm sorry that I'm like updating you guys so much during the draft and just like having updates that are very much like 1 minute long, but whatever. I forgot that there was this character named Olivia, and apparently Olivia and Winter broke up, like, because the mom was saying you can't just avoid friendships because you and Olivia broke up, and I was like, who was Olivia? And I'm vaguely remembering there was someone that she broke up with before this novel started, because I remember, okay, I'm getting a little confused. Okay, I remember in one iteration of the like book, she moves to a new place, and then in one, I think she stays in the same place. But who was this Olivia? Wait, is this, when did this happen? Okay, let me think. I am so confused. Plus, this book is written in third person. I've been writing in third person for a long time, so whatever. But I'm forgetting who Olivia is. How do I just forget a character from a novel that was so prominent? And it's like, even if I don't remember her name, I should remember just like all the time she showed up, because she must have showed up a lot of times in the novel. So I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. Okay, there's way too much to update you guys on. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so in this book, I remember, okay, I completely forgot how like sad book centric this was. Like, I mentioned, no, like sad whatever centric it is, because I remember, oh, that's okay. I remember that I was going for the thing that, like, you know, romance books, how, like, there'll be a character that's obsessed with every single romance movie and book, and they just, like, mention it over and over again. So this book, instead of, like, having romance be the center, it was sadness. Well, I feel like I'm, let me sit up straight. But anyways, I feel like yeah, so then it was just like very much sad book centric, and I completely forgot about that because yes, I knew there was like sad references and whatever, but like I didn't realize like how heavily it was a thing in this novel, because I was going for that like romance book thing that they do. So like the things that have been mentioned, like real life sad whatever things are she mentions watching The Perks of Being a Wildflower. She mentions reading All the Bright Places. And then I also wanted to read this line because I do think I was called, I don't know. Like, though I'm just like, okay, would I have written things like this right now? No, but like there are just like little nuggets that just make me go like, okay, whatever. Like I was a good writer at some point. Okay, so basically in the sentences, a a lunchroom isn't the ideal place to read, but it's also not the best place to be sitting alone. So I like that. Okay, this was called Olivia character is actually really important. I'm starting to realize because okay, there's a scene where our main character Winter, which Winter has had her name for a long time, and I'm realizing it, but Winter goes in the bathroom, goes into the bathroom, and then she sees Olivia, and Olivia has changed a lot, and then she's like sad about that. And then she also says that she wished that they didn't take their friendship to a relationship, because now that they're broken up, you can't be friends anymore. And so like yeah, it's getting sad, and just I feel like this is like very much reminding me of just like some movies and stuff that I must have watched at the time, movies and books that I watched and read at the time. Like this is reminding me of the, what was it, specifically because there's more, but the, what was it, Little Fires Everywhere, the Izzy and her friend, it's reminding me of that. Okay, I read chapter 2 and chapter 3. Well, actually, I think I finished chapter 2 the time I talked to you before. Okay, so chapter 3, I keep forgetting her name. Okay, Winter finds her friend, new friend, because like in the first chapter, she was like, okay, I need to find a new friend because her mom is mad at her. Or she's not mad, but she's like, okay, you need to get over Olivia or whatever. And then her dad says you need to get over Olivia in the second chapter, and same with like basically her brother. So then in the third chapter, there's this new girl that comes in. Her name was Maria. I completely forgot about her, but she was a very important character in the book. I completely forgot about this whole thing. But she finds yeah, Maria is new to the school, and then she becomes friends with her in this chapter. So yeah, I feel like where's all the interesting stuff? Like I remember this being like a very much like I don't know, like I don't know. It was like a very much like deep book, and like that's what I remember. I remember like when I thought about like making this video, I thought it was gonna be like very emotional and stuff, but like I'm not emotional at all right now because it was like a book very much about depression and stuff or whatever. But like now I'm reading it and it's just like, where is it? Like I don't know. It just feels like just like she broke up with Olivia, and it's just like okay. Oh, another thing that I'm remembering now is I used to be obsessed with friends going from friends to just like not talking anymore. Like that used to be my thing. Like it's like every single novel I'd put that relationship in it, and it's like in one of my books it was like they weren't friends, and then throughout the novel they get in a relationship or whatever. Like it's like actually it was like a romance thing, but like I was obsessed with the whole friendship, friends, strangers to friendship or lovers. I don't know. I was obsessed with that. Now that I'm remembering it, but yeah. Okay, a couple of things have happened since we last spoke. I think I read chapter 4 and 5. Okay, first off, I had a problem back when I was writing. Okay, guys, okay, guys, I'm sorry. This called my sister called me, and then my phone was acting up. I don't know what was going on. But anyways, I read chapter 4 and 5. I feel like, well, yeah, first off, I did not use any dialogue tags like at all, and it's so confusing who's talking. Like when there was only two people talking, I would never use dialogue tags, and I needed to because it's honestly so confusing now that I'm rereading it now. Second off, I completely forgot that Maria was into fashion. Like that was her thing. Everyone was like into their own thing, and they had like a very specific thing that they were into. That was something I did, and now like I don't do as much of that, but I do like see it in my writing a little bit. What else? I feel like I haven't seen like the sad parts of this book yet, like because like this is supposed to be like a book that's like a sad girl book, sad girl lit book, but like you know the young adult version or whatever, but I'm just like not seeing it yet. Like I'm seeing the whole breakup, I'm seeing whatever. She also runs out of the party because they go to a Halloween party because she sees Olivia or something, and there's that. But I don't know, but there's really nothing. Like I thought this would be sad, that's why I wanted to react to this one, but I don't know. I feel like the sadness might come in later, but I am remembering more of who Olivia was. I remember there was something sad that happens, like some sad realization when it comes to Olivia. And I remember, I feel like they were like talking. I don't know if this was this chapter though. I don't, or this version. I don't remember like at all anything, but we'll see. Guys, I can't even lie. In the last two chapters, the book took a dark turn. Okay, like I'm surprised that it went this way. Like, read the next chapter. It went like completely south. So basically, like I guess she gets home, then she starts thinking, and it's like there are actually a couple of good lines in here. Should I read? Should I read some of them? Let me see if I can find it. Like I was actually like, you know what, I'm not gonna read them. No. But I'm also like, okay, yeah, so this is where it starts to get sad. I'm like, dang, okay. So then I'm understanding where that's coming from. Okay, first off, I would say that if I were to rewrite this novel now, I would mention something before the 5th chapter or the 6th chapter, which is when like we start to realize that she has depression and stuff. Because like right now, because in the beginning it felt very much like what was it? It felt like I don't know. It felt just like it was not a story about that, and I feel like if I were to change it, I would do that. And it's like maybe I would chunk the chapters differently. I don't know what I would do, but I wouldn't do it like that. She also meets a person named Jasmine, and she also meets another girl. And Jasmine, she has a crush on Jasmine. Wait, did I say this in the last thing? But she has a crush on Jasmine or whatever. And we can tell from the beginning, when they meet. But yeah, this definitely turned out darker, not darker, but like just like it turned into the book that I know it was. I do like a couple of the descriptions I had. A couple of the descriptions I had. But yeah, I don't know. It's so cold upstairs or whatever. So I think I'm gonna break this up into just reading 10 chapters at a time, because last time I did this thing, I read like the whole book in one sitting, and it's just like I feel like this book is like 82 pages, and though it's not literally not a book, it's a zero draft. Right now it's feeling like a book, but it's just like once I get to the middle, I start to just like weed things out and just like start to just like basically write a sentence summary of what happens. But in the beginning, I'm actually writing the book for what it should be. But right now, I'm just gonna read the till chapter 10, and then I'll be back like tomorrow or something else, because yeah, it's gonna take way too long to read this. But yeah, it's good though. I low-key just wanted to read this book just for the last message, because in the last thing there's like a letter that she writes to her younger self or to her older self, and I really liked it. But I also just like wanted to have like a little bit of some context of what happens before she writes that letter. It's not a bad letter. Yeah, no, it's like a yeah, whatever. Like, there's a happy ending. Yeah, so she writes that letter, and she's like, I remember it being good, but I just want to see a little bit of what happens beforehand. But yeah, okay, I read till chapter 10, so I'm finished for the day, or I'll come back, but like I'm doing it in increments because again it's cold up here and whatever. Okay, so first off, my thoughts from chapter, like, I think I wrote like read 3 chapters. So I guess right now, okay, right now we're seeing that she's depressed and stuff, so like that's the thing. A thing. Okay, I feel like if I were to rewrite this novel, I would not have put that relationship in there. Like, there's a romance happening between Jasmine and, actually, you know what, the romance actually doesn't work out in his favor, but I don't know. It's just, it's annoying me. It's just like, I am not a fan of a romance where the main character is actually obsessed with each. Like, I don't like romances that are very typical romances where it's like, oh, I have a crush on you, and it's like, I don't like that whole like let me try to explain it better. I don't like the like atmosphere had this but let me show you atmosphere. Okay, atmosphere. Okay, this book had this type of romance where it's just like the main character likes the love interest, and when I say likes them, I mean like it's not like a little bit of like, you know what, let me just give a little bit of some Taylor Goodreads examples because okay, so within this book, I feel like the romance in here I like better than this one, because in the romance for this one, it was just like very much like the romance was born out of it was just like a more complex romance, and even the romance in here. Let's do this one because this one was easier to explain. Okay, so basically in the romance in this book, and I guess we'll try to explain it because actually, you know what, this was a better comparison because like these are both sapphic relationships, and why I love this book better than this book, and this does have something to do with the book that I wrote. Okay, so in the romance in this book, is this, you know, this isn't a spoiler, you should know that there's a sapphic romance in this book. Okay, so basically in the romance, at first Evelyn does not like I should know her name. At first Evelyn does not like is it Ruby? No, not Ruby. I this is really so bad. Okay, Celia or Cecilia. Celia? Yeah, Celia. At first, Evelyn doesn't like Celia, and then they form a kind of friendship, and then there is a relationship. So that's how this book works. Versus this book, where it's just like our main character, Joan, and I feel like I didn't have to bring out these 2 books to explain this. I could have just explained it without it, but you know what? Whatever. I'm going to explain it like this. Joan has this big crush on, what's her name? Vanessa. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, oh my gosh, she's so like whatever, without any, just like, that's the immediate thing. And she's like, I'm not a fan of romances like that. Like in real life, that's like whatever, cute and whatever, but in books I can't do it. I cannot do it where a character just likes another character. Like, it's just like, it's not my thing. I want something more complex in it, and I feel like you know what, I feel like this book waits for the payoff. Like, I feel like this is one of those books that it's like, if the book I'm writing right now, no, not right now, the book I was writing then, it's one of those books where it expects you to read the whole novel before you understand the book, rather than saying like, if you quit at this very point, you could easily quit. Like, for example, in the beginning of the novel, we don't get the main character's depressed thing until later in the novel. And though like the way it's done is like low-key kind of really good, at the same time, if you are sitting down trying to read a book about depression, you need to at least have some Easter eggs in the beginning, because then it's gonna be a little confusing what's going on. Again, with this romance thing, eventually in the romance, let me spoil it because who cares. I think the what's her name? Winter's mental health ends up ruining the relationship Winter has with Jasmine, which I think was the same thing that happened with Olivia. And I think she has a confrontation with Olivia that she gets back to with Jasmine. And if you read the whole book, then this confrontation and like this deterioration of this like beautiful romance would be beautiful and just like an actual like actually good. But if you don't read the whole novel, like it's gonna piss you off. Like the reason why I couldn't read the line that was in this, which okay, this has I guess a little bit less to do with what I was just saying, was because it was cringy. Like I liked a little bit of what I was saying about like what depression is like or whatever, but at the same time it's just like I would go too far. Like one of the things, should I read the line? Like it's just like, you know what, I'm gonna read the one of the lines that so I can tell you just like why it's making me mad, because it's just like right now I think I write in a more subtle way because I just like I like subtlety rather than just like overt whatever. And it's like I'm fine with like a couple liking each other. Like okay, this is going back and forth I guess again. I'm fine with a couple liking each other. I'm not fine with a person liking another person, and then it's just becomes a relationship because like that just it annoys me. So let me get you guys to the place, okay? And it's like let me not care, even though it's so cringy. Like I try to like do it, but it's just like okay, it's really cringy. Where is the line? Okay, I'll tell you what I like and then where I stop liking it, which I didn't want to just say like this one place, but okay. Where are we? Okay, it's not chapter 5, it's chapter 6. You should know that. Okay, so it says I'm sad and I've always been sad and I'll always be sad. Good sentence, whatever. Sad isn't the right word to describe the way I feel. Okay, good. I feel like boredom is the best way to describe, and this is where it's good until in this sentence, the endless satisfaction by what feels like nothing. I don't like that line. Like I don't like that line at all. I feel like I took a fine description and then I ruined it by like, oh, it feels like the endless suffocation by nothing. Like what are you talking about? Like what are you talking about? What? No, by the endless suffocation, by like, what feels like nothing. Which okay, I don't like the strangle whatever, because that just seems like I don't know, it seems like it hurts and it seems like whatever. And if it's like the what I was trying to describe doesn't warrant what I was just like saying, like that sounds like absolutely like it's just like it's starting to feel a little bit melodramatic. It's feeling like it's just like that's what I don't like about it. I feel like there are so like I'm not able to share a lot of this, which I low-key thought this would be like a me being like, oh my gosh, I've come so far in my writing. It was supposed to be like a good little thing, but like the reason why I can't read like the whole thing like I was able to with the last one is first off it's way longer than the last thing. I think yeah, this is way longer than the last book I read, but so I can't. And then it's just like it's cringy and it's just giving me off. I hate the 2010 sad girl book. Like that was like in middle school I loved those things, and then like as soon as I became in high school or something I physically couldn't do it anymore. Like it's like I've exhausted that genre, and it's like reading my own book that's like that. It's just like maybe if you're into sad whatever you're still into that, you'll like it, but at the same time reading it now it's just like okay, this is this is like low-key just like it's feeling very much like I'm just saying things to say it. Like, I'm saying things because it sounds good. First off, just like that paragraph, I'm saying it because it sounds good rather than because it means something. And why I was comparing like the whole romance to just like this thing was because I feel like I'm wait, I had a thing. I feel like I just did things. And it's like I'm not a few. Okay, I guess let's just scrap that because I forgot whatever that was. First off, I would not do a romance in this novel if I were to do it again. I get the idea, like the way I actually like this book is becoming like a full-on novel, actually full-on novel obviously. But this novel I am writing it. The main character has the same name, Winter. I'm really excited to write that book. And that book is going to be an adult book. How I decided to switch it now even though, oh, I remember what I was saving this video for when I wrote that book, because I thought I was going to rewrite that book like by now. That's why I ended up saving this video for then, but like for now, whatever. Okay, I'm not just now remembering that. Okay, what was I saying? But okay, the main character is already in an established relationship. We have this relationship, and then it's just like the whole mental health thing is just like added on from the relationship, because I don't want to introduce a relationship. I am so against like new relationships and just like a character liking another character and another character liking this character. It's like I like friendships to lovers. I like all these genres. What I hate is strangers to lovers, because it's just like it's too normal for me. It's just like I don't know, it's just like there's really no stakes. It's just like, okay, I like this person, whatever. Second of all, I don't think in a book about depression that was the good idea, because I feel like, wait, okay, what am I talking about? Okay, no. Okay, I feel like the romance versus the depression, like these things are so in contrast with each other. Actually, that makes it sound bad. Okay, I feel like you can make these two things coexist, because like in a way it coexists in the novel, the adult novel I'm writing, because like she's in a relationship, and then there's also like the dealing with mental health. But I feel like these things, two things, like this like beautiful romance and this like dark mental health, it's not fitting in together, because they're just like they're opposed to each other. So it's just like two storylines that are just like trying to fit together. And also I feel the same way about the whole Olivia existing, that whole storyline. I feel like it's taking away from the actual plot, which is about a 16-year-old girl who has depression and is dealing with how this affects relationships, which again, that's a thing that I'm still exploring in the novel, that adult novel that I'm gonna write soon, either next year or the year after, who knows, but I'm deciding for my schedule, but whatever. I feel like that is such a good novel idea, but I feel like the fact that I am adding so many new relationships, like even if I had just kept Olivia, I feel like Olivia may have been fine, and it would have been, but then it makes, okay, it makes the relationship feel like she is, no, this thing whole thing makes the thing feel like Olivia is the reason why she's depressed. I feel like that's what it makes it sound like. Wait, can I say that a lot on YouTube, or I don't know. Oh well. But anyways, I feel like the fact that what is it? The fact that these, okay, what am I talking about? Okay, the fact that this relationship, okay, the fact that this relationship exists, it makes it first off sound like the reason why she is dealing with her mental health issues is because of this past relationship. And then even when she says it's not because of that, it still feels like it's because of that, because of how much I emphasize those things happening, like the new relationship and the what's called whatever. It's like, even though in the end it ends up affecting her relationships, I feel like first off, the I can already tell without having read the whole thing that the, what is it, the story arc is gonna be what's called hard. It's gonna be like the story arc or whatever is gonna be not, but wait, but what am I talking about? It's gonna feel like two separate stories. One story, which I hate this happening in books too, where it just feels like, for example, a story about I always say this, okay, a story about recovery should be about recovery. A story about someone figuring out that they need to recover should be its own story. I feel like when you start to, actually, I feel like I'm just talking about a specific story, but whatever. If you add these two things together, the book ends up like, it doesn't end up working out, because it's just like when you are in two different stages of life, it is hard to put two different stages of life in a book. And the two stages she's currently in is, first off, this whole trying to figure out, okay, this whole, what is it, making friends and whatever, that's its own. Okay, sorry, my brother interrupted me. I'm upstairs, which this is my brother's room, whatever. But anyways, so there are different stages in Winter's life. First off, there is her child. or I guess like goals she has. Her first goal is to make a friend. She kind of just like has this whole journey of her becoming friends with someone or whatever. Then there's this part where she's just like ruining her relationships because of her mental health. And then there's her recovering. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that certain stage when you mix certain stages of a person's life together, it sometimes doesn't fit. It sometimes feels like two different stories or like two different like things just smashed into one book. And I feel like this is one pitfall this book is falling into. I don't know how to explain it more clearly without actually using a book example, but at the same time I don't want to hate on the book. That I feel like the whole like recovery whatever, if you can guess what book it is or just like whatever, then that's good. But like whatever, should I read a little bit more of it? I don't know, but it's just like it's getting cringy and it's getting kind of tired, and it's just like I don't know, because it's just like I'm doing something so good, and it's just like I feel like this is what makes me really mad about this novel. I feel like with my first novel, I could admit it was the first novel. I could admit that there were some things that I was doing good. I could admit, and I feel like because the first me rereading my first novel, I already saw what type of good things I could do. But now that I'm rereading this book that I thought was like my beautiful, like this was a book that like even now I'm trying to even write it till this day, like because I loved this book so much and I still love the idea that it's become so much. And just like so to see an art, because I feel like okay with the first book I wrote there is no new version of that book. Let me think, is that true? There is no new version of the book. It was very much rooted in YA, and there was like I don't think there was any way to carry it on to adult. Maybe it's carried like pieces of it is carried on, but this book specifically, the whole thing is carried on to my adult version of the book. So to see it in such a rough shape, it's just like making me sit down and just say, what was I actually doing back then? Because like yeah, because the other book I was just like, okay, this was actually pretty good, but this one I'm just like no, 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 no. And I hated that like 2010 to 2000 whatever sad girl lit book era, no, sad girl YA era, because at first it was good or whatever back when I was in middle school, but reading it now it's just like I'm realizing how cringy it was, how just like the way that it just like it sacrifices the speaking the truth, I guess, or it's like the reality of having a mental illness for drama, if that makes sense. Like it overdoes it just because. And so yeah, that's what what's annoying me. And it's like I've read a lot of sad girl YA books in, I don't even know what they were called, but like they're not my thing no anymore. So yeah, I might read a couple chapters. Let me read a couple of chapters and then I'll just like leave it at that. Okay, I've read 2 more chapters. That's all I can do for the day. I physically can't anymore. First off, it's cold up here. Second off, this novel is just whatever. Okay, I figured out, yeah, my biggest pet peeve, like, because I remember not liking atmosphere as much as I wanted to, and it's yeah, I'm starting to realize why I hate romances that are just regular, just like, oh okay, someone has a crush on someone and then the relationship happens because both people have the crush on each other, because it's just like no, no, there's really no point in doing that. Like it's actually making me so mad, and I don't like it at all. I've suffered through chapter 11, which chapter 11 was them going to a roller skating rink. The whole friend group is just making me mad. I don't like the friend group situation at all. Like it's boring to read. I feel like literally like it's like her depression disappears over and over again. It's like even if it didn't disappear, or it's just like whatever I was trying to do, like even if it's just like okay, she's just not noticing it because she's happy or whatever, it's still annoying. The one thing I do like about this novel is the little brother. I feel like the little brother, it's gonna break my heart as soon as what happens because she starts to disappoint everyone who loves her. And again, I feel like this is exactly what I was trying to say. An established relationship, like the relationship my main character has with her little brother, that's amazing, because it's like it's so sad when what's called what, like her sister starts to, like, I don't know, deteriorate or whatever, and then it's like her sister, little brother is watching that, like that's sad, that's beautiful, like that's not, why would I say that? Okay, that's not beautiful. Okay, I'm saying that's like, that's well written, like that's actually, like, I don't know, like it's like, okay, like I can write a story, but then it's like when it comes to the whole whatever thing, Jasmine and whatever, it was good. The flirting is okay. I think I like it a little bit. I was always good at that. But it's annoying me. But like, I'm the little brother is the only good thing that came out of this novel, and I low-key think I might take the little brother into. Actually, I don't know. No. I might not. Actually, maybe. Actually, you know what? I might take the little brother into the adult novel now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm actually loving the relationship so much. Um, then also another thing that I kind of want to take into the adult book is in this book the main character's parents are very lovey-dovey or whatever. They clearly love each other and they show that. And at first, like, okay, and I got this idea from The Hate U Give. Like, I really like the relationship between the mom and dad in that book, and so like in this book that's how the mom and dad are, and it's like I low-key like it. Like, well, right now I don't like it in this book because it's just like, ugh, whatever, but like I feel like it would low-key kind of just like be really good in the adult version. I feel like this is just me taking ideas from this book into the adult novel, which I'm not writing yet, but like I low-key want to write it every single winter. I want to write the book so badly because this book does take place during winter, so it's just like it's my winter, just whatever. Like every winter, I want to work on it so much. So yeah, this is my way of like working on it, I guess. But yeah, I like complex romances, I guess. And let me see if that's true. Yeah, because in this book there's no. Ooh, yeah, I'm starting to realize that. Okay, then this book there was that romance that I explained. In this book there was that. Actually, why am I taking out my Taylor Jenkins Reid's books? I'm just like whatever showing you. But then in this book, the romance was like a at first they're not like romancing. It was just like it was a slow romance where it wasn't like a clear the main character likes the guy or whatever. I just don't like things are very clear that both people like each other. And I'm starting to realize that, and I didn't even realize it that much, like, because I always knew that atmosphere, there was a little bit of me that didn't like it for that reason. Actually, you know, let me stop talking, because that's, I'm going to make a whole video about the Taylor Jenkins Reid's books that I do like and don't like or whatever, and make a whole video about that, but like right now, I'm not doing that, so let's not talk about that right now. Yeah. Okay, I'm back now. Yeah. I read like 3 more chapters just now of the book, and I guess I'll be sharing my thoughts. This is the next day, obviously. Yeah, I can't read like all of the book in just like one sitting because it's taking too long. I have other work to do just in general, so I just can't do what I did last time and just like read it all. So here are my thoughts on these 3 chapters. Okay. There are so many cringy things that happen that actually is just like making me sit down and cringe so much. It's like, I don't know. Like, okay, one of the things I'm literally not sharing, but like this one I'll share it. But I'm also like, yeah, this is just like very. Should I share it? You know, I will. So where does it start? Okay. So, okay. And it's okay. It's okay. You know, I was what 16, 15. You know, we've all written embarrassing stuff. Okay, so basically, the line is, I should probably get my lunch now. And this is Winter who says this. I don't have any dialogue tags, so whatever. And then it was called, there's another not dialogue tag, but what is her name? Jasmine says, I'm buying you some food. And then Winter says what? And then, wait, why did I put like break here. It's still Winter talking. I don't know why I have like paragraph break. Like it's another, like it's Jasmine talking, but Winter continues and says, "Is this like a date or something?" And then Jasmine says, "If you want to think about it like that, then sure." Like it's just like, bro, what was I thinking? I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes, and that's what I'll just say for that one. I don't know. Like I was reading that and I was just like, wow. Like I thought this was gonna be like a sweet like reading, and then just like realizing this book again, and just like going like, oh my gosh, I've come so far, and just like it would have been a good thing. But now I'm reading it, I'm just like, this was the actual like cringy book, and my first book I ever wrote wasn't that bad. Like it was bad, I'm sure, but like from rereading it, I remember it being like pretty okay. Whatever, I'll keep reading. I haven't even finished the 16th chapter, but I have to come update you guys. Why is Jasmine saying I miss you after their like first time actually hanging out alone? Like they've hung out like once before and she's already saying I miss you. And then also Winter also says I miss you. Like what are you talking, like what are you talking about? I don't know. I don't know. This was way too fast of a romance. Second off, what else? Okay, I remember when I was writing this book, I was worried about the fact that the characters move from place to place to place instead of just like I feel like you guys can tell I'm chewing on gum. Whatever. Okay. But the character moved from place to place to place, and it didn't feel like it was very structured. It didn't feel like there was very much like a rhyme and reason to it. Like there wasn't like, it wasn't in order. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like she goes to this Halloween party, she goes to the ice rink, she goes to what's her name, Maria's house. Like she kind of just goes through these places, and I think right now she's gonna go to the skating rink again, or she's going somewhere with Jasmine. She's in this point like trying to figure out which one to go to right now. Well, Jasmine has just invited Winter to something, and she also agreed to go somewhere with Maria. So there's that. Yeah. So basically, that's what's going on. But like, yeah, there was too much movement in this novel, and I feel like now I don't do that thing where the character goes from place to place to place, because I think I make it where the character goes to the same place over and over again. And it's not like bad. Like for example, in the book I'm currently working on, what is it? If I had the money, I need to change that name quickly. Because it's more about the church than the money. But the main character keeps going to her sister's church, and that's basically like her go-to spot. And it's just like when she's anywhere else, it's kind of just like there are her main spots. It's not like she's going to like a bunch of new places over and over and over again, which makes it very obvious that like she's going to places. Because it's one thing if these are like typical places, like her house is a typical place. Like these are like typical places that she's going to that makes sense. School, my character in the book I'm currently writing, she goes to her house, school, and basically her sister's church. She also has a job, so she goes there. But like there's nothing really new, or nothing like, yeah, there's nothing new about the places she goes to, which makes it feel like it fades into the background as to what she's doing. Okay, let me tell you what has happened between 16 and 7 through 18 or whatever. So basically, Winter is annoying me. So Winter, first she makes, okay, I was telling you guys about how she made plans with Jasmine and Marie, and how like eventually this would like become something, because she didn't realize that she made plans with the both of them. So basically, Marie says, okay, let's go to the ice rink or whatever, skating rink, which I'm just like, why would you re-mention the skating rink again? That's not important. But then she says, okay, whatever. She says yes. Then Jasmine asks her where they should. Jasmine says that they should go to, I don't know where Jasmine and her go to. my eye itches so much. I think she just says, oh yeah, let's hang out or something, which is just like whatever. Again, it's going way too fast. And basically Winter is like yes, and then Maria calls Winter, and Maria's like, oh yeah, where are you? And then she's like, oh, I'm with Jasmine, I'm not showing up or whatever. And then what's called Maria's like, oh okay, like why didn't you tell me? And then Winter's like, oh yeah, like I just forgot, I don't know why you'd be mad at me or something random like that. And then they shut off the phone, and then when she's talking to Jasmine, because like Winter is visibly mad. Then Jasmine is like, oh, what's wrong? And then she's like, oh, yeah, no, Maria's just being a dick. What is wrong with you, Winter? It's like, Winter is kind of unlikable in the adult version of this, but like, right now she's extra unlikable because it's like, there's no reason to do this. And it's like, I understand in certain cases why this would be necessary, something like this, but it's just like, not this book. Like, I physically do not know why Winter would say something like that. Anyways, so then the next chapter, she ends up like admitting like, oh yeah, what I did was kind of wrong. She doesn't really say anything again about it. Then there was a scene after that where she was kind of mentioning something about her depression. I was like, oh, I completely forgot she had depression. Like, when did that happen? Like, I don't know. I was going in and out, in and out, in and out. But it was also like, because the story was so much focused on the friendship Winter had, the relationship Winter had, this ex, which I haven't seen the ex in such a long time, Winter has. It feels like the book is about that. It's like whenever something bad happens, then that's when the depression comes back up, which would be fine if, like, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like, because she mentions how she was just born this way, like she's always been like this or whatever, but it's just like right now it's not feeling that way. And yeah, so that's what's just like annoying me about the book. So yeah, I don't know, I had to read you guys about that. But yeah, I guess I'll keep reading this wild book. Yeah. Wait, no, I forgot the last and the most important thing in the novel. What's her name again? Winter asks Jasmine to have a sleepover with her. What are we talking about? Like, I don't know what was going on in my little brain back then and why I thought that would be like low-key normal, but that's not normal. Like, what? Like, what? That's not something that you just like say. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Winter, what are you doing? Like, no. It's just like, now that I'm an adult, there's a lot of stuff that like I'm just reading this book back now, and I'm just like, what am I talking about? I think it's because, like, especially when it comes to this book, I feel like I was trying to do like that whole like things that I never experienced. First off, for the Halloween party, I had never gone to any parties back in high school or whatever, so it's like I didn't know anything about that. But so then it's like, bro, it was inaccurate. And I feel like that's exactly why this book isn't working. I feel like I was trying to apply some things that I personally did not experience at the time. And now that I'm rereading it, now that I've experienced like a lot of the things that have happened in this book, like I'm sitting down and going like, what am I talking about? Or at least I've seen the things that like I'm talking about in the book. Now I'm just sitting down and going like, what am I talking about? Because like the first book I ever wrote was very much high school, like, you know, I mean, it could have been even middle grade, where it was just like a very much like figuring out who you are. And then this book, I feel like it was supposed to be that teenager book where it's just like, you know what I mean, like the books that a bunch of like YA books are, where it's just like they like when they start to get in trouble and they start to do a bunch of stuff or whatever. But it's just like I hadn't experienced that, so I didn't know what I was talking about. And now I'm like that, I'm reading it, you know, that is what's making sense why it's so cringy to me now, and why I'm sitting down going like, bro, what was I talking about? Because now that I've experienced these things, I'm sitting down reading it and going like, no one would say that, no one would do that, that none of it makes sense. I don't know. And I don't know why I did that. And yeah, no wonder it's more cringy than the first book, because the first book, at the very least, it was just like a cute little, like, you know what I mean, coming of age, like, you know what I mean, like some like things that I dealt with at the time. It's just like I firmly dealt with literally everything that happened in the book. And even if I didn't deal with it, it was pretty accurate because I knew people who did deal with it and knew how to. what's called, work with that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading first. Yeah, guys. Okay, so I read a bit of chapter 19. I have to update you guys now. I don't know. Okay. So basically, what happened in this chapter? Stuff from the beginning. Basically, Jasmine and Winter are in a relationship. But they're also going to the sleepover that Winter asked her to. So again, this relationship is moving way too fast. What else has happened? This camera, I'm realizing, is way too close to this. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so basically that has happened. Whatever. Okay. Dang. I spit out my gum eventually. I'll do that later, but okay, so basically they have the sleepover, whatever, and they're playing Truth or Dare. Again, I feel like I was introducing too many new things to the point where this was feeling a lot like whatever. I like there's a part of this book that follows in line with the way that the book is now, and I'm just like really surprised about that. But yeah, what else? So they're playing Truth or Dare. Why does Winter? Okay, so basically, in the beginning of the what's called chapter, Jasmine tells Winter that her mom died. Well, why, when she's asking for one of the truths, does she say, "How did your mom die?" Why would you say that? That doesn't even make sense. No normal person. Like, what was I doing? Like, I feel like I was doing it for the plot. Like, bro, what? And then this Jasmine replies. Okay, I don't know how to say this. Like, let's just say. Okay, I feel like you're gonna get it like this. Okay, let's just say that she also just struggled with depression. Like, so then it's like, you know what I mean? If you're understanding what I'm putting down, right? So like basically that's what she says, and I was like, bro, why would I do that? Like, why would I, like, what? Like, it's like, okay, fine, it's one thing if you find that out, like how her mom died, but it's another thing if like if you ask, like, why didn't you just directly ask? That was literally the worst thing that she could have done. Like, that's actually like, what are you doing? Anyways, let me keep reading, I guess. Okay, I finished the 3 chapters I was supposed to finish, and I think that's it for the day. But okay, so basically what happens in these chapters is actually really the only important part that I want to tell you guys is the fact that what's called, I think Jasmine tells, okay, so at the sleepover, I don't remember if I said this already, but at the sleepover, Winter tells Jasmine that she's depressed pretty much. Then in the chapter that just happened now, I think Jasmine's told Winter's parents that, but this may not be true. I feel like it was the brother who told the parents, but right now it's saying that Jasmine did, because Jasmine actually confused, but then she's also like, well, I did tell your parents that they should go to therapy, but the mystery is like who actually told her that her parents that she's depressed or whatever. So like that's the mystery. I don't know if it comes back up if I actually have a reason, but like, oh, so like when Miss Collins, okay, what is it? Winter is really mad at Jasmine, and when she confronts her, she's like, "You can't save my mom." What's called? No. You know you can't save your mom by saving me, right? I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I was actually like, you know what? Story plot line. You know what? What I truly believe needed to happen in this novel, now that I'm thinking about it, Jasmine and Winter should have been an established relationship, which in the new version they are an established relationship. I think that we should have known what was happening with should have known like what happened with Jasmine's mom and stuff, and then we should have like had like just like had her have like all these friendships, have all these things, completely get rid of Olivia because I haven't seen Olivia for a long time, and then like this line would have actually, and I feel like if we had started the novel with her just like getting depressed, then that would have been like the best thing. I don't know if I should keep saying that on this channel or if they're gonna get me, but like I don't know. But it was And then, like, as that happens, then this relationship starts to fall apart because Jasmine kind of wants the parents to know because she wants Winter to be safe and stuff. So I feel like that should have been like the way I did it, because now it's getting good. But like everything above, just it sucked. Like it sucked so badly. And just like I hated it so much. And just it felt just bad. And just like I feel like I know what I was trying to do, but it's just like it wasn't working. So yeah. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. Now, like, it's actually getting good, but we'll continue tomorrow because again I don't want to read too much because I've been reading all day. I have like schoolwork and stuff that I need to do. Like if this isn't summer, which I think is the last time I did it, or even senior year, Ali was doing nothing, but like now I am, so I have to do that. Okay, what is it? I've read majority of the chapters, 8 chapters. Let me just go through the chapters and say like basically what happened. At this point, this is a spoiler. Like what happened in, well, not a spoiler because this is my book, but like it's everything that happened in the book. So yeah. Okay, so in chapter 23, Winter goes with. Okay, sorry. Winter goes with Maria and Emma, which is like Maria's love interest, to like a date-esque thing. Like I think they go to a clothing store and whatever she has is kind of just a date between Maria and Emma. Then the chapter after that, she goes to, what does she go to? She goes to something with Maria and Emma. Again, like this is what I'm trying to say with the novel. Like I just kept going from place to place to place, and it didn't make sense. Like why we were just going from place to place to place. Because when you like introduce so many different places, unless it's like a part of the novel and like clearly just like something that the novel has, like you know what I mean. Like if you're like the characters are going to a bunch of different art museums, then okay, that makes sense because all the art museums, maybe they say the differences between the art museums and whatever. But then it's like when you don't have like a strict reason why they're going to all these places, it just doesn't make sense. It's just like you might as well just keep it to a close, like you know what I mean, thing, a close, just like wherever they are. But yeah. Anyways, and then on chapter 25, what happens is that Winter meets Olivia at the school dance, and like she talks to her, and a line that I really liked that I'm gonna share with you guys is, "I'm sorry, Winter, but I'm not going to be able to save you this time. Just leave me alone." And I was like, dang. Wait, anyway. But yeah, I was like, dang, like I don't know. I was really, I don't know. I was definitely doing something. Like, I feel like this novel feels so much like it's two different novels compact. And I remember having this feeling when I was writing this book, like there was too many things going on. And I think the combination of just like all those places that the characters are going to, all the relationships that exist in the novel, all of the, and it's like every single relationship is asking for like the full attention of the main character. So that I feel like that's why it felt like too much. And it's like I'm seeing how cluttered it is right now. But as then chapter 26, what happened? Winter stays home. Her dad says you can't. I think I wait. How did I feel about this life? Okay, this line I didn't like necessarily, but I think I'm gonna share it and say why I kind of hate it. It's just like I feel like it just whatever. Should I share it? I don't know. I feel like this is so embarrassing. Just like I don't know to share this. Like this novel out of the other one is like way more embarrassing than the other one. Like honestly, So like basically in this draft, okay, I'm gonna say why this line made no sense. Like just this whole paragraph doesn't make sense. But like this line is like the least embarrassing out of the whole paragraph. So yeah. I'm gonna share it. You're just absolutely miserable every day, displaying strength you don't possess, and for what reason? You're just as unhappy as I am. No, just yeah. My opinion on that. First off, I feel like the idea that what's called the dad is as unhappy as she is. I feel like for what reason you're just as unhappy as me. I feel like that's a good part of it. I feel like I feel like I was just saying random things. Like, I think I was gonna like come up with some brilliant line, and that's what I was doing. Actually, I think I thought this was the brilliant line, but like you're absolutely miserable every day. Good. Then it says displaying strength you don't possess. It's just like I feel like I was just kind of just putting words in that I had just learned from books or something, and just like putting it in and just going like, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? Like, uh, what is it? Who's a good writer? That could Shakespeare. It was called. Like, I thought I was just doing my thing. I wasn't. But yeah, I feel like the problem about that I said like the problem about that, but like I don't think it necessarily makes sense. I feel like giving, I feel like she could have said something about the dad being a person who just like acts like his mental health doesn't exist or something without having said this. So there's that. Second off, this doesn't even make sense for this novel because like reading the rest of the novel, the dad is a perfectly normal guy. Like I think I did another draft of this novel, or there's a draft before this where the dad was actually like clearly had mental health issues that he was avoiding, and I feel like that makes more sense if it was in that context. But like in this context, like it's like the dad is like perfectly happy, and it's like even if like the dad secretly has his struggles or whatever, like it's just like I feel like Winter wouldn't know that, like, you know what I mean, like they're, yeah. So yeah, like, because the point in the beginning I was trying to make was that you can have a happy family but like still be depressed. Like that was the point, but then it didn't work out, and that's why I didn't like it. And then a line I really liked which is the last line of 26 is like when her parents say that she's going to therapy, and then her dad says, I do anything for you not to have to live life like I did, just know that. And I was like, okay, that's cute. Like, I don't know, that's really cute. Then in chapter 27, what happened? Oh yeah, the brother brings Winter her Viscount school stuff back to her room, and he helps her do her homework. Like he asks the teachers, Winter's teachers, about the assignments, and then just like gives it to the sister and just like helps her with the homework, or just like at least does his homework in his own place while she does her homework, and then they do all day, and I thought that was so cute. And then chapter 28, basically the same thing. Another day of the brother helping her out with homework and stuff. Okay. Then in chapter 29, chapter 28, the brother brings back Emma, who's like a middle ground person, and basically Emma says like, you need to I guess I'm just like giving out the whole plot of my second book, because I didn't do this for my first book, I don't think. But anyways, so basically what happens? Okay, Emma just says to talk to Maria. They talk, everything goes well. I think I liked there was something about it where it was like, because the reason why Maria and Winter got in a fight. They got in a fight in chapter 24, because Emma says that like she got in this relationship, like when Winter got in the relationship with Jasmine, that whole thing took up her whole life. And now that the same thing is happening with Maria, Winter isn't happy for her because she doesn't have the same relationship. And so like that's what their argument was, and basically they clear it up in chapter 28. So yeah, that was what happened basically. Then 29, Winter goes to therapy. And basically what I said happened where I'll just say the rest. What happened where the brother, the brother was the person who told her parents about her mental health issues, basically. And yeah, as I had predicted, like it wasn't Jasmine, and she apologizes to Jasmine. Okay, I'll read the rest of the book, or at least to the letter, and then I'll come back and I think I'll read the letter on screen. Okay, I've read everything but the letter. And basically she confronts her brother, whatever. It's a sad moment, and yeah, that's what I remember. I remember that relationship being the best thing to come from the novel, and it is, till this day. So yeah, I read that, and basically I forgot that this novel was supposed to be structured as a journal, and basically this like is like, I remember in a new iteration of the novel I had it as like journal entries, and it's just like the journal. And basically in this last chapter she comes back to the journal because she has like, I think, a few more pages, and she's like, okay, let me like end off this journey or whatever. And but she has like a new notebook and stuff, and so now I'm gonna read the letter. I don't think I'm gonna read it out loud, but if there's anything good, I'll, like, you guys can see my live reaction, I guess. Okay, let me actually read this out loud because, like, why not? There's nothing crazy in here. Okay, so I want to start this off by saying you deserve the world. You'll do things you regret. There'll be those who fail you. Oh no, those who fail us when they weren't supposed to. When they were supposed to help us. You'll fall in love twice, or you'll think, but you don't love people like other people do, and there will be people who love you for that. This is about Jasmine, but you don't know her yet. You'll find friends who will truly understand you, and the brother you've spent your whole life protecting will learn to protect you. You'll feel stuff and not just push it down because that's how our family has always done it. You'll learn to embrace it, and when you do that, you'll live life to the fullest for the first time in your life. So that's all to say, things will get hard, but the people in your life will help you, and big emphasis on help because you are the only one who will be able to help yourself. You'll also figure out you want to be a therapist so you can help people like you, but for now you're a little kid, so be that. I only have a couple more lines, so I'll add this here. This is the last update I'll give you. It's really fitting. It's the last day of school, and this line here ends the last page. Goodbye, and thanks for being the only thing I had to get me through everything, but I have bigger and better things to do in the future. That's actually so cute. Like, you know what, that's really cute. The letter was worth it, this video, I guess, because like I remember the letter was literally the only, like, the last letter was the only good thing about this novel that I liked. And though in the like the new version I'm writing of it, I don't think there's gonna be letters because like the character's an artist and like it's completely different. But like honestly, I really like that last line, the last just like letter. And I remember like all the versions of the letters have always been good, and that was like really the best part of it. So yeah, dang. But
that was actually bad. Like, it's like, for the story, it wasn't bad. Like, I didn't look at it on a line level because it was that emotional, but like there are some things wrong with it. Like, I'm just like, whoa. But like, I did like that. So yeah, I guess since I finished the novel, that's all there is to it. Is there anything else to say about the novel? I feel like I thought this would be like a more emotional experience, but I feel like everything sad that happens in this book happens at the end, but also the end was rushed, so it's just like it wasn't as sad as I thought it would be. So yeah, there's that. I guess this is like a different experience than I thought it would be, but that's it. Yeah, that's it for the vlog. No, not vlog, for the video. So thanks for watching. Bye.